Hi, I'm Melanie and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about the 7 things that I wish I had knew before getting started with high ticket sales. So when I started, I was full of enthusiasm, but also I believe I had wrong expectations. I thought it would be all quick, that after a few weeks I would be able to earn $10,000 a month, but the reality was very different. It was a journey of ups and downs, small successes, and many mistakes that if I had avoided before would have saved me a lot of time and effort. And what no one told me was that high ticket sales isn't just a job to make money online, but it makes you grow as a person. So every no simply teach you something new and makes you improve. And that's why today I want to share these 7 lessons with you, because if you are thinking about getting started yourself, or if you have just started and feel overwhelmed, these lessons will give you a clear direction and make your journey easier. So let's start with the first one. Lesson number 1: you don't need to be perfect, you need to get started. So when I started, I wanted everything to look perfect. I wanted to sound confident, say all the right things, and never make mistakes. And honestly, that mindset slowed me down more than anything else. So I used to overthink every little detail, rereading scripts, preparing answers, imagining how every call would go. I was really obsessed. But once I got on real calls, I realized that the person on the other side didn't care about perfection. They cared mostly about being heard. So the truth is that nobody starts out knowing exactly what to do. You don't need to have years of experience or a perfect accent to make your first sale. And if you're consistent, if you show up every day and simply do the work, you can absolutely reach $3,000 to $5,000 a month, even as a complete beginner. And when I look back, I wish I had started sooner instead of waiting to feel ready, because the moment never comes. You grow, of course, by doing, not by waiting. And yes, when you want to go from 3 or 5k per month to 15 or 25k per month, like I did, that's when you start improving every little detail and take this job more seriously. But to start, you just need to take that first step. So every call you make, even the ones that don't go perfectly, will build your confidence and teach you something new. And that's exactly how you get better. Not by chasing perfection, but taking action. So the lesson number 2: the first sales don't come right away. So one of the things that surprised me the most when I started was realizing that results don't always show up immediately. At first, I expected everything to move fast. I was studying, practicing, showing up every day. So I thought that money would come fast too. But what I learned is that the first few weeks are like the warm-up phase. So of course, you're building confidence, you're learning how to talk to people, and of course, understanding the process is not wasted time. It's where you start becoming good at this. So in my first month, I made around $800, and honestly, that small result give me proof that it was real. And by the 3rd month, I remember I was already earning my first $5,000 online, and that's how fast things can change once you keep going. Every conversation teaches you something new. So how to ask better questions, how to listen more, how to guide the person on the other side of the call. So even if you hear a few no's at the beginning, see them as practice. So they're part of the process that will make you stronger and more confident. So don't let these first weeks discourage you. If you stay consistent and keep learning, the results will come much sooner than you think. So your goal in the beginning isn't to make a fortune, it's to build the skills that will get you there. And once you do that, the money always comes. Lesson number 3: find a mentor. When I discovered high-ticket sales, I did what many people do. I started looking for information everywhere. I watched lots of videos on YouTube. So I was learning a lot, but everything felt confusing because the more I searched, the more confused I became. And the truth is that my real start wasn't when I watched the first video or read the first book. My real start was when I found my mentor. So someone who had not only already done what I dreamed of doing, but who had helped other people like me achieve it too. So I still remember my first call with him. I was excited, but of course unsure, and with a lot of doubts. I didn't know whether to trust him. I didn't know if I was throwing away the little savings that I had, but inside I felt it was a decision to take. So that day I understood something important. You can't expect to sell a high-ticket program if you've never invested in yourself first. So when you invest in yourself, you show that that you believe in your own growth. And in fact, that choice made all the difference for me, because having a mentor showed me exactly what to do. I didn't have to figure things out by myself anymore. I knew what to study, how to train, where to improve, and every time I had a doubt, I had someone to turn on instead of getting lost in my own. So looking back, I know that without the guidance, I would probably have given up very, very early on. So that's why I say that my real start was there. Not when I found the first information online, but when I decided to invest in myself and trust someone who could really get me the results I wanted. So this is an advice I give in general. A mentor helps you and speeds up the process. So I'm not saying that your mentor has to be me, but it can be also someone else. But having a mentor makes all the difference. Lesson number 4. Every call is training. When I started, I used to treat every call like it was a final exam. If I didn't close the deal, I immediately thought I had done something wrong. But the truth is that every call teaches you something. So it's not just about getting a yes or a no. It's about becoming more confident, more skilled, and more natural every single time you spoke to someone. So in the beginning, I used to feel bad when a call didn't go the way I hoped, and then I started to see things differently because I began listening to my recordings, even if it felt uncomfortable at first. Instead of judging myself, I started asking, what can I learn from this? So sometimes I realized that I talk too much. Other times I noticed I hadn't asked the right question, or maybe I interrupted instead of listening. And that's exactly how I got better and better every day. So every mistake became a note, and every note became a small improvement. So call after call, I became more relaxed, more confident, and more in control. So that's the power of the repetition. So what I want you to understand is this: there are no wasted calls. Even the ones that don't close are helping you build the skills that will make you successful in future. Because each time you open your computer, each time you speak with someone, you are training your ability to connect, to guide, and to also close with confidence, of course. And when you stay consistent with that, the results are incredible. So that same approach is what allowed me to reach closing rates above 60%, which means that even on a day with just 5 calls, I can close 3 of them. And that's easily over $1,000 in commissions in one single day. So if you stay patient and keep practicing, you will see how fast things start changing for you too. Lesson number 5. So discipline beats motivation. At the beginning, I thought motivation was everything. I remember being so excited watching videos, taking notes, visualizing big results, and feeling unstoppable. But there were days when I woke up tired, when I didn't feel like sitting at my computer to do role plays or study. So days when nothing seemed to work and I started to doubt myself. And that's when I realized the real difference between motivation and discipline. Because motivation comes up and goes down, of course. There are days when you feel on top of the world and others when you just don't want to do anything. But discipline instead is what keeps you moving when the excitement is gone. So it's that small inner voice that tells you that you don't feel like it today, but you will do it anyway. So for example, I had a simple routine that I followed almost every single day, at least 1 hour of practice, listening back to my calls, repeating my scripts, doing the role plays. Not because I always felt inspired, but because I knew that every single session, even the boring ones, were building the results I wanted. And that's what really makes you stronger. When you show up, even on the days when you don't feel motivated, you start building consistency. And that's what leads you to real success. If I had understood this lesson earlier, I wouldn't have waited for motivation to magically show up. I would have focused on creating habits, because discipline is what turns small daily actions into long-term results. Once you understand that, everything becomes clear. You stop fighting against your emotions and start trusting your routine. And that's where real progress begins. Lesson number 6. Being a woman is an advantage, not a disadvantage. I confess that at first this was one of my biggest fears. I looked at the world of sales from the outside and saw almost only men. Even in the program I was following with my mentor, I was practically the only woman there. And I felt different and thought that this was why it was a word more for men, but the reality is that I was completely wrong. What I initially considered a limitation actually turned out to be my strength. So during my first calls, I realized that customers opened up to me in a way I hadn't expected, because they told me personal things about their difficulties and of course their fears. This happens when a customer sees a girl smiling. They trust her more easily, and that's when I realized that being a woman would be my strength. So empathy, the ability to listen without judging, the way we know how to connect, these are qualities that makes the difference in high ticket sales. Because in the end, a sale is never just about numbers and percentage, but it's about relationship. It's the customer who feels understood and decides to trust you. So if you're a woman and you think this word is not for you, I want to tell you that you have a natural advantage. Companies know this, and they are increasingly looking for female closers precisely because they have a very high conversion rate, even if they don't have years of experience. And if I had understood this from the start, I would have started earlier and definitely achieved the results sooner and with less effort. Lesson number 7. Success comes when you stop comparing yourself to others. So if I had understood this earlier, I would have saved so much energy and stress. Because when I first started, I kept comparing myself to everyone else. I looked at who was already earning more, who closed more deals, and who spoke English, of course, better than me. And I always felt behind. And the more I did it, the less motivated I felt. So, of course, we all do this, especially on social media. This is human. You open your phone, see other people's results, and suddenly it feels like you're not doing enough, like you're moving too slow. But the truth is, what you see online is never the full story, because everyone has their own journey, their own timing, and their own challenges that you don't see. Some people start faster, some have more experience, and others just got lucky at the right time. But in the end, success doesn't come to the one who starts first, it comes to the one who keeps going. So if you're watching this video right now, it really means that you are one step ahead of most people, because while others are wasting time scrolling on the social medias, you are here learning, improving yourself, and of course taking some actions. And that's how real progress begins. You don't need to be the best, the fastest, or the most experienced. You just need to be consistent. So keep taking those small steps every day, even when you don't see results right away. Because one day you will look back and realize how far you have come, and it will all make sense. Today, I only compare myself to the person I was yesterday, and that mindset has helped me grow more than anything else. And with that, we have looked at the 7 things I wish I had knew before starting with high ticket sales. So to recap, first, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Second, the first sales don't come right away, and that's fine, that's okay. Third, starting with a mentor makes all the difference. Fourth, every call is practice, even the ones that go badly. Fifth, discipline beats motivation. Sixth, being a woman is a huge advantage. And 7, success comes when you stop comparing yourself to others. These lessons are not abstract theories, they are real experiences that have changed me personally. If I have managed to achieve significant results today, it is only thanks to this process. And if you're here listening to me, you probably see yourself at least in part of what I have said. Maybe you are afraid, you are not ready, or you think it's not the right time. And there is never a perfect moment, you just have to decide to start. If you have come this far, you probably feel deep down that this path could be for you too. So maybe you want to live with more freedom, make good money, and finally feel proud of what you do every day. But maybe you are holding back because you think that you are not ready, or because you are afraid that you are not good enough. I understand this because I was in the exactly same situation, and I too had a lot of doubts. I too wondered if I could do it and if people would take me seriously. But the truth is that Everything changed the moment I decided not to put it off any longer. You don't have to be perfect to get started. You just need to start and stay consistent. And if you want to do it with me, you can write me directly on Instagram, or you can book a call with me by clicking on the link below in the description. During the call, we can talk about your situation, your goals, and see, of course, together if my program is right for you. I'm here today not because I'm special, but because I choose not to give up. And if you also feel that your time has come, take action. Because the truth is that it all starts with one choice: to begin. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.